Hi, everyone. It's December 4th, 2025, and this is the almost weekly developer meeting for Backdrop CMS. We get together most weeks to talk about development priorities for Backdrop and usually specifically around Backdrop Core. It's been a couple of weeks since we gotten together. Thanksgiving was here in the United States last week, and the week before that, we canceled the meeting. So we've got a lot of updates to cover from the last 3 weeks. Some quick introductions and a roundtable of the people that are present. My name is Nate Lampton. I'm Quick Sketch on the internet, and I'm a core committer and the technical lead for the Backdrop project. I'm joined here by Martin Price and Andy Wilmoth. Martin, do you want to go ahead and give a little intro?
Yeah, I'm Martin Price, Yorkshire Pudding around the internet, and I'm a backdrop developer in Northeast England.
Thanks, Martin. Andy?
And I am Doc Wilmot on the internet, Andy in real life. I tinker with Backdrop occasionally. Haven't been around for a while. Glad to be back in the meeting, although only two of us. Off camera because I'm in my pajamas. Sorry.
Excellent. Thank you, Doc. Is it okay if I call you Doc?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of confusing. I go by so many names. Yeah,
Okay.
call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Matters not. All right.
Um, yeah, we have a couple of Andys in the community. So Doc Wilmont is definitely the phrase I use most often, unless you're right here. So,
No worries. Doc Wilmot is fine. Doc, anything. I'm good.
great. Yeah, thank you for joining today, and thank you everybody out there watching. Um, So let's see, we have some updates for backdropcms.org. Anna Heath, one of the owners of Giant Rabbit Development, submitted a new showcase, the Utah Avalanche Center. That showcase still needs to be reviewed, though. But Anna, thank you for submitting it, and we'll work on getting that published as soon as possible. And new contrib projects, a whole boatload of new contrib projects. Um, Text formatter, serial number, pond passwords, Pantheon secrets, allowed values function, facet bot blocker, and OpenID Connect module. All of them were released in the last 3 weeks. So that's pretty great. I'm really interested in. Oh, let's see. Um, Two of them, text formatter and serial number generator, looks like they're under a new brand that Steve Morehouse in the UK is starting called Acuity.
Yeah,
So,
it's trying to make it like a suite of modules, and but these are kind of standalone, but they also, I think the idea is they'll work as part of this suite, but they can also be standalone.
hmm. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm not really opposed to putting brands in front of modules, although I do really, if they're general purpose, I do kind of prefer that they not do it.
Mm,
But um, that could be okay. I think the most important thing is that people are producing and that they're sharing their work. So I'd take that over nothing. I am really excited about the OpenID Connect module, which is really great to have that kind of authentication module. This is definitely more, this is like OpenID Connect has been kind of slowly spreading as the dominant single sign-on connection mechanism. So there are others, like SAML, for example, but OpenID Connect seems to be kind of the most capable and what I'm seeing the most of, at least in my enterprise work, for organizations that are kind of on the leading edge of things. So I'm really excited to see that. And connected to that is the Pantheon Secrets module, which I'm also very excited to see. because Pantheon, the hosting provider, which has adequate backdrop support, and we've got a lot of users that I know use Pantheon as their hosting provider for their backdrop websites. Pantheon recently redid their secret management so that you can now store secrets on Pantheon's server, and once they're written, you can no longer read them back out, which is, I'm sure that there's ways to do that if you have PHP executable ability, but I really like that concept and ability to set keys that you can't access again once they've been set, but the modules that are on the server can access them. And it depends on the key module, and the key module is a general purpose module for storing secrets in arbitrary ways, whether that's in flat file or configuration, or now the Pantheon secrets functionality that is on the Pantheon hosting service. So yeah, I'm excited about that pair because the Pantheon secret capability was only recently redone, and to have a backdrop matching tool to leverage it is really excellent. That's for storing things like your I don't know, your SMTP keys, for example, if you connect to SendGrid, or um, your GitHub API keys and things like that. So I like this solution. Well, anyway, that's a big list of contrib modules. Really grateful as always to have all of the new projects coming in, and to our contributors who have been working hard to create all of these modules and contribute them to the community. All right, let's see. Oh, and we were joined by Olaf while I was doing the intros. Welcome, Olaf. Do you want to do
Hi.
a quick intro?
Yes, I'm Olaf from Hamburg, in northern Germany. I'm a site builder, site architect, work as a freelancer with my own clients, and I'm also part of the Backdrop project management committee. And yeah, I'm chiming in again after a longer time.
Great. Great to have you here, Olaf. Okay, so general discussion. So we had a post in the forum a couple weeks ago that we need to get through all of the items that have been raised there. The first one I want to talk about really quickly, because it's already resolved, is issue 7008, which is PHP 8.5 support. Indigo Zella, Herb Duel, and myself went around 3 ways to work on getting Backdrop core fully capable, or fully compatible with PHP 8.5. I kind of underestimated the work, but Indigo Zella did it anyway, as usual. So I'm really happy to see that, and that'll be in Backdrop 133. The overall compatibility, it seems like it's mostly pretty compatible, and I could have pulled it back into the 132 branch, but I think always to be better safe there, and it's only in the 133, or in the 1.x branch right now. So let's see how big this thing ended up being. 46 files touched, 223 lines. So yeah, not nothing. So anyway, thank you, Indigo Zella, especially for championing that issue. Also related to the PHP 8.5 support, because we're making a lot of progress doing code cleanup, and then Indigo Zella was like, "Hey, can you please get this more important issue in first?" Which we did. But the code issue cleanup is issue 6004, which BW Panda opened a couple of years ago, called the Great Coding Standards Restoration. That ever since we added PHP CS linting to our code base, there's constantly been when you modify a core file, you get a bunch of notifications that the coding standards aren't perfect in the file that you're working in. And HerbDuel picked this back up last week and redid the pull requests for all of the core include files that start with the letter A, B, and C. And we merged the A one in, and now B and C are ready to go again. So it's not a small undertaking, but I kind of appreciate, well, I mean, I very much appreciate like just like, we can just chip away at it. But as we found out last time we tried to do this, you really have to merge them in quick because it's tons of tiny changes across a lot of files and they go stale super quickly. And so if people are interested in keeping tabs on issue 6004, go there and follow the issue or subscribe to it in GitHub, just to keep an eye on it when they come up. It'd be helpful to have somebody review them, and then we can work through these a little bit quicker. I say, strike while the iron is hot, as they say. All right, so we have other issues that were raised in the forum. The first one is 3016, adding the option to globally disable comments on a content type. I'm excited about this one because Norm Plum has hopped in here. Oh, as well as you, Olaf. Olaf, would you be able to give a little summary on this issue, 3016, since you've been a bit more active in it than I have?
I can try. So it's a really quite old issue. And it's about the option to disable comments on a content type level. So and we agreed lately, because there were different approaches for a while, and lately we agreed on the approach or the goal to make it so that it behaves quite similar to when you disable the comment module. But you want this behavior for single content types. So that's the idea. And there are more sophisticated use cases, but we don't treat them in this issue. And so NormPlum had made a PR for this. And I've tested it in the sandbox. And it works basically as expected, but it has some issues. So one open question, in my opinion, and also things who were overlooked in comparison to disabling the comment module. For example, should I refer to them immediately, or should I jump in?
Yeah, you could go into depth.
Yeah.
I think that might be
Okay,
helpful.
so as I said, the basics work good, but we have, for example, on the content type configuration, we have two tabs which are comment related, comment fields and comment display. And those tabs are still there even if comments are disabled for content type. So this is not managed by the PR so far. And the other thing was, wait a minute. And then we have under manage content, in the admin bar, there's manage comments. And if you disable comments for a certain content type, those comments are still in this list. And you can click on a link, but you don't arrive at the comment because it's not there. So we have to think about how to remove these items temporarily from that list. And Yeah, I think that it is in a way, but then I noticed afterwards or at the end of the testing very, very super strange behavior. And I've made another screenshot in the next comment there, where at a certain point, so I switched forth and back with the comments, also disabled the module, enabled it again, and so on. And at a certain point, the posts are not displayed anymore as expected, but if you click on a post in the full view mode, something is broken.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's PR related or not, but yeah, quite strange. And yeah, we have also to look after that. Yeah, that's all so far. And I think, yeah, that sounds like a lot of issues, but the basic direction of the PR is very good, I think, and also the basic work.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty simple. Like it's not so far at least, but yeah, there's a number of small things that need to be adjusted. Nice find on the like comment fields and comment display tabs showing up. Those should disappear if comments are disabled. Yeah, but this last one where the body disappears is completely
Yeah, and
unexpected.
another body or the body of another or the whole um yeah, the whole node of another node is displayed in there. So yeah, quite strange.
Oh,
Hmm.
huh. Huh. I wonder what would cause that.
Yeah, so and yeah, it was so strange that I I ran away and then made this screenshot, but I didn't test further because I didn't want to make more chaos.
Huh. Oh, there's something really funny here on the sandbox. Okay. Huh, that's strange. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's got
so
some things
far.
to look at. I wonder
Mm,
if that seems like that could be an unrelated issue. But
could
I
be,
don't
yeah.
know.
But it only appeared after some actions of me. So sort of I first disabled comments for certain content types, enabled them again, then I disabled comment module, enabled it again, then again on a content type, and so forth. And at a certain point, it looked like that, but not from the beginning.
Hmm. Well, cool. Well, cool. Thank you, Olaf. So this needs
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and move this back to needs
needs work, I
work
think. Yeah.
since it does, but also since Norm Plum volunteered to be an advocate, and this was a milestone candidate issue, I moved it into the 133 milestone so we can track it a little more easily.
Mhm.
Great. All right. Let's see. And then Martin, you raised two issues in the forum uh, as well about a number of things. The docs website and the API module. Maybe I'll share my
Yeah.
screen so that we can look at this all together. So be a little bit less abstract. So let's see. So you raised this issue.
Yeah. I think the difficulty with this is it seems a bit of a obscure kind of class related issue that appears, and when we upgrade to PHP 8, and so
Interesting. Part of grammar parser. Hmm. Um, So you said this is preventing any upgrade of backdropcms.org to later PHP versions. Oh, because
Yeah.
it's a warning. Oh, I see. This is in PHP 8.3 only. This is in parser.inc.
I think you don't see it when you're on the site because it happens in the background, but normally with type errors do result in a fatal.
Yeah. Well, this looks like this is pretty simple, actually. It looks like let's see, exception handler. This should just be this. It looks like at one point we renamed this function potentially. Um,
All right, as easy as that. Yeah.
yeah, I think this is it. Like just that it's saying this method doesn't exist, and that's because it doesn't exist. Its name was changed to be that instead, a camel case instead of underscores. I think that's all there is to it, probably.
Okay. Well, I've got a local copy of Docs, so I can test it on that.
Yeah, another small little thing. Okay, yeah, I that would be great to get that in place. I know our systems administrator has been upgrading all of our sites to
Yeah.
PHP 8.3 that can, and I could see this, yeah, being a
Yeah, we
block
have
for
to get
that.
him to roll it back. So, but if we can get this sorted, so.
Okay, great. So let's see. There's also this one for core. And I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, so we've seen it quite a bit in Zulip and the forum where people they'll get like the little red thing for the status to say there's updates. And they'll say there's updates that need to run, but when either they'll run it and then they'll carry on if they've got other modules that need doing, they'll run it, but it will still say there's updates, but then nothing happens, um, and it generally is down to where a module has maybe um, not there's something wrong with the update definition, the update hook definitions, that means the requirements aren't met, and so it doesn't show. So the idea of this, because what you get on the status report is calculated in a different way to when you run the run updates, you do get this different. Uh, you get the full list of all the things that are showing as having an update, even if when you get to running the updates, they don't appear there. So it helps you to narrow down if there are ones that are stuck for any reason. And sometimes when it's been in Zulip or the forum, we've had to get them to kind of look in the database and hunt for schemas that seemed out, and
Mm-hmm.
so the idea of this is just to make that information a bit more available.
Yeah, I think this is great. And I know like some of the circumstances that have happened. We had this issue recently with book module. I remember that
Mm,
we added an update hook to book module, and some people upgrading from Drupal 7, their schemas weren't updated for some reason. Somehow they got onto Backdrop upgrading from Drupal 7, but their book update number was still like in the 6,000s. Oh, that was it. So they'd upgraded from Drupal 6 to Drupal 7 and then to Backdrop, and their schema version number was still in the 6,000s, and Backdrop doesn't know what to do with that. Um,
It was when we introduced the book
Ye- ye-
cache.
Yeah, well, and I think we expanded it so that, yeah, when we added the book cache, but now I think we expanded it further, or we did something for book module. I can't remember what our solution was, but we fixed that particular problem. But this was one of the other syndromes that you got when um, when that situation occurred. The book module would say there are updates available, and then you go to run update.php and it'd be like no updates.
Mm,
Because it can't what update.php shows you is only the things that are runnable, and
mhm.
this shows you if there's any updates at all. So I think this is great. This only show um, a module one time because it
Um,
doesn't list every update for the module. It
I
just lists
think
one update.
I think if there was quite a few, I think. Oh, actually, I think it gets the latest one. I'd have to double check, but I think it gets the latest update.
Yeah, I think one thing that could be improved here
Yeah.
would be if it listed the current schema version as well, and then like did a
Okay.
little
Yeah.
arrow to the new schema version.
Yeah. I'm fairly. That seems quite easy because it's in that function. So.
Because I'm not totally sure that our like book module solution fixed every possible scenario of like Drupal 6 modules or update hook numbers that are unexpected. So it might be useful to know um, what the
Mm,
previous version was, and then you can see, oh, this is trying to go from 5,000 or 6,000 to 1,000, and that's why it's not working. It's
yeah.
because it's trying to do too big of a gap.
Yeah.
Another thing, shouldn't the help text be a little bit different, saying that if you can't run the update script, then the following information will be helpful or something like that? Because now there's you should
Mm,
run the site update script, but I think we put there the information for the case
yeah.
when the update script is not able to run. So the text could be adapted a bit
Yeah.
for this situation.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Olaf. But I worry about like telling people if you have a problem, then this is going to be helpful when 99% of the time you're not going to have a problem. And
Mhm.
so like
Yeah, but
it
we
almost
could.
like gets people prepared for uh mentally for a failure, which I'm not sure we
Mhm.
want to instill that
Yeah,
lack
but
of confidence.
mhm. If we do it in the details element, so people would need to click on it, which they normally maybe don't do. Um, yeah, I see your point, but um, why is there the list of modules in case everything is fine? It also doesn't make so much sense, does it?
What's that? I don't understand what you mean by that, Olaf.
So yeah, so first I see your point. So we don't want to say that there's an issue if there isn't an issue. I get that, but on the other hand, also the modules list in a way is not needed. It's only needed as a hint in problematic situations because usually you just click update and everything is fine. So we have already a kind of in between solution where we show more than needed. And maybe we find something, a good wording or also a good position of the text to help
Oh,
people in case they need it.
yeah. You know what might be better here? We have I think a core wide mechanism for a show more link, like we have on the modules page.
Yeah. I
That
think
might,
we've all. I'm not. I couldn't work out if we could use that again when we were already using it to expand the. Because we've already got it. So we've got the. If you look next to where it
oh,
says
here.
run site updates, less, more.
Oh.
So we're already using it there, and
Yeah.
if there are updates, then it's expanded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Tricky.
that's interesting. Um, Interesting. I wonder,
I haven't tried nesting.
yeah, well, maybe what we should do here is that like this description here, you could just move it into the, or move the list of modules into this more thing so that it just shows up when you click more.
Yeah, like on
Um,
the screen
It
above.
is already part of that, yeah. So, but it will be. So it's already part of that list, and it will only show if there's. So I think if you go to the status report on a site that doesn't need any updates, then it's
oh, of course, we're not going to be able to see it, but
yeah,
updates because it only
site
shows up.
updates. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
up to
doesn't
date.
show a more
Yeah, but this
when
this
it
is
does
this
that,
is
it
really
just
similar.
shows.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they're all collapsed by default. And then when you click more, then this is kind of similar, like that it could show the
Yeah,
module
Yeah.
list there.
yeah. So in my thing, I had originally just a list, but I suggested the option that we could have like a details element,
Mhm.
uh, and
Yeah, it's
it
maybe
could
too
be
much.
for all of them, or it could, which is what I've shown in this demo, or it could be for if the count is more than
More than like 5 or something.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. This is interesting. There's some behaviors here that I'm not quite familiar with, but it looks like these things are collapsed if they're okay. But when
yeah,
it's a warning, it's expanded. And so that would happen for updates, I would guess as well, that it would
yeah.
be automatically expanded. Um, I don't know. I I think I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion. I think the details
Mhm.
might kind of be okay because it is going to be expanded, and so you're only expanding it
Mhm.
one time.
But in a
Uh,
way, I think in a way the details is also quite, it's a big font size, so
uh-huh.
it's quite prominent. It's maybe better just let it open without the details, it's less noisy. So,
Which is
so
what
it's a
we've
lot
got
of
above.
different elements at the moment with the details.
Yeah, if it were just bullets,
Yeah, which I think which is what the current PR is. So I guess it's if there was a lot of modules with updates, then it could be quite a long list. But if we're comfortable with that, just so it keeps the formatting in line with everything else, then we can just go with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think also because it's a critical message, so you
Hmm.
wouldn't want to let it there for a couple of weeks. So
Yeah, I really like this concept though, because the number of times that like I just don't know like until I go to update.php what
Hmm.
updates need to be run. And especially now that we have the backup step in there where it's like you gotta sometimes I'll skip the backup step just so that I can get to see the list of updates. And then I'm like, oh, I probably should have run a backup. Right? And so then I like start over, run the backup, and then I get to the list of updates and then I run it. And just like this would give you information up front before you have to click through three screens and do a backup, what it is that you're actually about to do.
Um, by the way, I have something a bit off topic, um, but it came to my mind now, and I wanted to ask you if somebody of you have noticed that um, if you enable the core um, backup, um, and if you have at the same time backup and migrate installed, it's still telling you you should make a backup, look for backup and
Mm,
migrate or
hmm
something.
hmm
And so, and yeah, I didn't look for an issue. I don't know if there's something, but yeah, we should also look at this or handle it.
Yeah. Um, there's not, let's see what we have right now. So in the main settings.php file, um, so what I know you can do is there's the backup directory. That's funny. I thought there was another thing. Update free access, restore free access. Um, I thought that I'm not remembering this. I thought that there was in settings.php a thing for, oh, here it is.
Ah,
Yeah, you can set this to false, and that just
eh,
skips the backup
yeah, but I
capability.
don't
Yeah.
want it because I use backup and migrate for other use cases.
Uh-huh.
Like when I install a new module, I make a backup before,
Uh-huh.
um, just in case. And but for yeah, the core update, I wouldn't need it because I use the built-in update backup mechanism. So, but there's still then comes a warning, you should make a backup with backup and migrate. Maybe that comes from the backup and migrate module. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's backup and migrate. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that would be great if yeah, that should be filed against backup and migrate that it can check
Okay.
if
Yeah,
this
I
is
see.
set.
Hmm.
And if it's set, it should disable its own message, I think.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
because this is like it's empty by default. And I would think that
Hmm.
if it is empty, or if it's false, then backup and migrate should keep showing its message. But if somebody's gone in here and specifically enabled the backup functionality, um, then backup and migrate shouldn't be prompting you to do a backup if there's already a sufficient one being made
Hmm.
by Core. Although the backup and migrate does have, the ability to also back up your files, and Core doesn't, but I think that that's I don't know. That's something for backup and migrate to
Mm,
consider.
okay.
Yeah. Great. We're almost out of time, but we have a couple more issues. Also, we are joined by Robert. Hi, Robert. Robert,
Hello.
is there anything you wanted to talk about today?
No, I'm just soaking in the next meeting.
Okay, great.
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm happy listening.
We have a couple more issues to talk about, and we're almost out of time. Let's see. Allow layout to be selected on additional paths. This issue got derailed. It almost got in earlier this year, but the user interface needed some work. It worked, but the UI had some issues. And so, Doc Wilmot, you jumped in on this recently. Can you kind of summarize what changes have happened here? We still have you?
All right, so I started working on that recently. The previous PR was mostly allowing additional paths, but not checking contexts on those additional paths, which I always thought was that to me would be likely to be confusing to somebody if you add um, a node page, for example, as an additional path. If your primary path, for example, was a user, your user entity path, and you add an additional path for node, I would think that a user would expect that node context would be loaded as well if the person uses that layout. But it wasn't like that with the previous PR. So I think that to me would be required functionality. I think it would be kind of strange to have a layout that you use for node paths, but it doesn't load node context. So I think that's uh, for me minimum requirement, really, ideally. So I've been trying to see if that could work. I've gotten that working in the last PR I've done. I'm getting a error with custom layout provided paths, which that's what I'm working on now. Not sure if the actual code, the shortcuts that I'm taking to get this to work would be reasonable, but for now I'm just trying to get it to work. So not ready for an update yet.
Okay. Have you are you making adjustments to the user interface? That's where this got hung up previously.
Yeah, so the interface that I'm using is similar to that what's on the screen here now, where you
Okay.
can add an additional path and then the context table will be triggered for any additional path.
Oh. Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't understand what you meant by that. Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
very sophisticated.
yeah. So I've got that working, but when you try to use layout provided paths, that's not working. So I just got to work on that, and then give an
Yeah.
update then.
Huh. So, yeah, that's I find that curious. So you're saying that you can have like this be applied at node/percent as the primary path, but an additional path could be user/percent?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to work.
Wow. Um, yeah, that's interesting because like our previous validation and just the way layouts worked is that the context had to be there. Like it has to be there for that path. But if you visit node/1 and this layout applies, but there's a user context there, any user blocks won't have their context. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it so that if you visit the user context, it will load the user. If you visit the user page, it would load user context. So you could use the same layout
Uh-huh.
um, on any one of those two paths.
And just that means that if a context was missing, the block would just have to not show up, I'm guessing. Because like if you were adding something like a field off of the user, but you were on the node URL, there's no user to pull from.
Right, essentially.
Yeah.
So I haven't, like I said, I'm not ready for an update yet. I haven't all the bugs yet. I'm just trying to get it to work, and then I will look into all the possible, complications.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for the update there.
Might not work, but
just even getting user interface is a big step forward. We're almost out of time, and I need to drop right at the top of the hour, I'm afraid. So, but I did want to at least also highlight this one last issue from Mike Kett here that is highlighting some issues that the table headers don't always perfectly align in certain zooms and sizes of screens. And Martin jumped in here and looks like there's a Drupal 7 issue that might help here.
Yeah.
So
I've created a PR and
yeah, go ahead.
I created a PR and it seems to be mostly it just needs some code review and testing to see if there's any way it's kind of almost perfect but not quite. But I think almost is better than being quite a bit wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So this pull request needs testing. Okay, well, we are out of time. Hi, Luke. Boy, we just kept picking up people as we went along. I think there may be, what is this? There's the user group meeting after this.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's probably why people are showing up. But let's go ahead and end the broadcast for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining and for watching, and we'll see you all next week.